Hey fam, what it do? This is your boy Ocean, and welcome to Ocean Tarot. Of course, I'm Ocean, and so today is April the 8th. The time is like around 5:40 here where I'm at, and so I got off from work a little while ago, came home, took a shower, and I was like, you know what? Let's do a little read for today. I kind of like this time of the morning. But as I said, today is April 8th. We have a new moon in Aries and then also the much awaited eclipse, solar eclipse. All right, so for that reason, I just kind of wanted to get on here, just chat it up, do something real low key. Cause like I feel like sometimes during the day when I do some of my readings, I feel like I'm usually in the hustle and bustle of the day and just like trying to get from point A to point B, and I'm like, well, I want to do a read so I can kind of feel productive, but I'm just like, this is the time where I feel like I get to kind of like slow down and relax and just kind of chill and just, work my way through it. But anywho, we're gonna get started. So while I'm here, while you're here, this will be timeless. So anything that is expressed on here, when you find it, it was meant for you. Also, be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know the notifications if any of these things resonate with you. As always, thank you for being here. Let's set this mood. Get a little candle lit. Which I should have did what I just did ahead of time. Now I should have pulled that wig up a little bit higher. But anywho, let's light a little incense here. Ooh, I'm gonna have to relight that candle. I don't know, it might stay lit. Anywho. Anyways, all right, so let's talk about this solar eclipse. Solar eclipse. This is gonna bother me, sorry. Okay, now it might cooperate. Let me just get a piece of the match went inside there and it was like real close to the wick, and I was like, it's probably gonna make it burn out. But anyway, all right. Let's talk about this solar eclipse. All right, so I'm pretty not what I would consider an astrologer. However, I do think it's very interesting, the events. And so let me just go ahead and say this now. If you find yourself out during those times, just exercise safety and caution. And what I mean by that, it's like obviously, yeah, if you're out on the road driving and it's about to get real dark, I know people are gonna be trying to look and this, that, and the other. So it's like, pull over somewhere and let's enjoy the moment. Let me start with that first because it's so much stuff going on social media about these conspiracies and things that are gonna happen and da da da. But honestly, I do kind of feel like that what this is doing is like this is literally going to birth a new sector of very spiritual and prophetic people, as well as people who are like astrologers too. Because if you notice, everyone's attention, like nobody really cares about anything astrological until it's something big astrological, and then everybody, started tying biblical prophecies into things, or and I'm not discrediting any of it. I'm not gonna say that any of it is true, but or false, but I know sometimes we have to be careful about jumping on the bandwagon with stuff and just going with what everybody's saying, and it's like do you really study this stuff? Do you really believe in it? Do you understand it? Da da da. And you know, the list can go on and on and on. But I just think that we're gonna begin to see like a great number of people who, you know, are gonna call themselves, or could even be self-proclaimed, I don't know, to be astrologers and prophets and all these type of things. And so, you know, just to look forward to, because we are in Aries season, which is, you know, it's all about a jumping or springing forth. It's when things begin to blossom and bloom. So I think like the timing of it all is very interesting as well. So anyways, with all that said, I got this part kind of set up here. So anyways, back to what I was saying about how I don't really know a lot about, you know, the eclipses and, you know, the significance of them, but just very generically speaking, it's like, so we have the moon that is passing between the earth and the sun, and will temporarily, for a period of time, will block or diminish, depending on where you're located geographically, you know, the light from the sun, right? And so, and then we'll cast a shadow onto the earth and da da da. So what I found very interesting is that if the sun is representative of our ego, right? Then what that kind of says is that for a brief moment, like there's nothing wrong with ego. Ego is very necessary. But for a brief moment, ego will be blocked or diminished for a period of time. And it will cast a shadow onto certain areas of our lives. And so when I think about the ego, like in a negative sense, it's like it can hinder you from certain things, right? Like you can be so far in your ego that you think that, you know, what people used to say, like your shit don't stink, you know, or you could have some exaggerated, inflated opinion of yourself, right? Because of having an extra large ego. So it's always a great thing to try to keep the ego as much in balance as possible. But for a brief moment, whatever the amount of radiancy your ego is exuding, temporarily when there's an eclipse, there's a cutting away of that light. So for a brief moment, you may not have as much clarity as you normally would during that particular time, which is literally what is happening, but also I'm speaking metaphorically and spiritually, whatever, at the same time, if you're kind of catching the two dynamics, right? So for a brief moment, my ego is going to be limited in how much it is exuding, which I feel like is a prime time to get rid of things that may not be necessary. And it doesn't mean that there's a complete death of the ego, because it's still there, it's still present, it's still relevant, but just for a moment in time, something else takes importance. And so ego has to take the back seat. Thank you. So whereas the sun has been the prominent thing, now that this moon, the nurturing side, the feminine side of us, the passive side, is now passing through, then that thing now becomes the important part, or the star of the show, or the main attraction at this particular time. And so all three planetary alignments between the sun, the earth, and the moon, like they're all important and they play their roles, but they also don't fight with each other in such a way to where it's like the sun doesn't feel some type of way just because the moon is passing in between whatever connection that the sun and the earth had, right? So there's no jealousy there. So it's all balanced. So the crazy thing was when I decided to do this read, I was doing like a pre-shuffle. Oh, and I wanted to say this too before I get ahead of myself, that also when I was meditating before I got ready to turn the camera on, and I was trying to gather my thoughts before pressing play, and I heard in my head, which part of me was probably falling asleep too, but do not frown upon the small incremental progressive steps that you're making. Celebrate those, honor those, take the time to be in the moment. And so that's another thing too about this whole eclipse thing. It's like with all this conspiracy and stuff that's going on, it's like the last time I think we had one of these was like 7 years ago. And I remember where I was at when it happened. And I remember things that happened during that moment. And it was a moment in 2017 that, I won't forget. And so it's like, let's not be so in a hurry. And that was what the thing was about, celebrating those small victories. It's like we're in such a hurry to do nothing. Like, what are we rushing for? What is all the pandemonium for? What is all the chaos for? Like, just stop and let this be a moment. Because you think about it, as long as the weather permits, there's going to be millions of people who are going to take some time out of their day to admire something very splendid and phenomenal, right? And if you believe in God, it's a testament of God and, the beauty of creation. And if you don't, you see it as something else, whatever. But it's like, but aside from all that, it's a moment in time that once it passes, we won't have that same experience ever again. So it's like, there'll be hundreds and thousands or millions of people who will be on one accord. And how often do we try to get people together on something and we just can't seem to do it when it comes to humans? It's funny because ants and all these different species, like, they work together as a collective, but for some reason humans, we have such a hard time. And it could be because of our ego. But this is a time where ego will take a back seat and love and nurture will come forth and will be the main attraction. It will be the thing that draws people together, right? And so, yeah, just enjoy the moment, enjoy the experience. Now, don't get me wrong, like, I live in the city and I'm pretty sure that, there might be people out different places like posted up watching. So it's like, if you've got the availability, go and get things done as early as you can, so that way when the time comes, you can just sit at home and you can chill and you can enjoy it and be in the moment, not be rushing around trying to do this and do that, and then you miss the whole entire moment. Or even if you find yourself out doing errands, take a moment to stop and enjoy and let it be what it is, all right? So I wanted to say that. But also I wanted to do, I was doing a pre-shuffle, and before I even got to verbally ask the question, like, hey, like, what's the energy centered around, the solar eclipse, the Four of Pentacles came out. And then I was like, well, let me put it back, because like I hadn't asked the question. And so then when I asked the question and shuffled some more, I got the King of Pentacles and the Five of Swords. So I decided to just go ahead and just kind of like use all of them because I find it very interesting. So usually when I read the Four of Pentacles, it's just centered around budgeting. So I usually read it as like budgeting, or like a depository, or something dealing with banking, something dealing with saving, or sometimes about holding possessions or holding things close to your heart. It's also a very stable energy. Usually for me too, it's like being able to stand on your own 2 feet, right? But another thing that I didn't see on here was, this was about holding on to people, possessions, issues, deep-seated past issues. That was the part that stuck out. And the interesting thing about it is that even though it's a Capricorn energy, it's ruled by the sun, right? Which deals with I was talking about with ego and stuff. So I kind of feel like with this, what this is bringing up for us during this time is like, it's a time to like really look at how we've clutched onto or held on tightly to like past issues. And it talked about it being deep. You know, it's something that's things that are not surface level, things that are deeply rooted in us, that are issues. They're reoccurring issues. They're cycles, perpetual, habitual habits, right? You know, of things that we do or how we react and how we respond. And so I just kind of feel like during this time, like we're going to have to, I don't even think that it's a matter of having a choice to do some work. I think a lot of us are going to be kind of squeezed and forced into a way that we have to make certain adjustments in order to get what we're trying to get to. The next card was the King of Pentacles, which dealt with security. So I was trying to get out of the mindset that this whole thing, you know, during this time is about money, because obviously it goes much more deeper than that, because we're talking about issues, things that are deep-seated in us, that we hold on to so dearly. The King of Pentacles is a mature, grounded male, but it could be female, because tarot, there is no gender. But this is about stability. So I kind of get like during this time with this solar eclipse, it's like if we're dealing with these deep-seated issues that we have, or issues that we continuously cling to, ultimately, even though this is not in the reverse, I feel like it's gonna hinder our growth. But when we learn how to manage this Four of Pentacles, when we learn how to manage our, not just our finances, but just, you know, how we deal with our issues and things of that nature, that puts us in a very mature and grounded energy with the King of Pentacles. And I think that's what a lot of us are elevating to, is that kingship in our pentacles. And it goes well beyond, like, you know, just from our assets, the things that we own, our material possessions, but even to our health. So we're taking possession of the tools and the resources that we need to further ourselves along to move into this sort of kind of kingship, right? Where we rule over a certain area, like where we have dominance in our finances, where we have dominance and longevity in our health, right? In our connections, because I kind of read the Pentacles too as like a card of, or as a energy of like networks, how things fit together, how they relate. And then next we have this Five of Swords. This is about defeat. So I think it's about us addressing the areas of our life where we may feel defeated, or how if we don't learn how to manage and deal with these deep-seated past issues, how it can potentially rob from us, right? And defeat us in that sense. So by elevating to this kingship shows some type of progress, it shows growth, but to do anything opposite of that would be defeat for us, right? On an individual level or on a collective level. This also deals with self-sacrifice and self-sabotaging behaviors. So it's like, what are the things that I'm doing, my ego, what am I doing that's causing me to be in this place of defeat, right? And underhanded behaviors, like, that's a deep one. It's like, you know, I look around, it's like, what is all the underhanded behavior about? Like, why do we feel the need to have to stoop so low in order to feel like we're on top? There's enough for everybody to have and do, but there's a part of us, a deep-seated issue, to where we feel like we have to be better than the next person, or we have to belittle people in the process of doing it. And it's just like, that's what this is asking us to look into, is that self-sabotage, self-sacrificing behaviors, because those things will cause us to, it'll stunt our growth, right? So those were just some of the things that I felt like, was kind of maybe some of the things that we find ourselves dealing with in this solar eclipse. Excuse me. So I'm gonna put these 3 cards back in the deck in different places, and we'll see if they venture back out. All right, so let's get a little shuffle. And let's see what the collective messages are for the collective for this new moon in Aries and this beautiful solar eclipse that is to take place today. And I really hope that the weather is clear. I haven't checked the forecast, but I know when I got off from work this morning, it was like raining outside. So, all right. Clear concise messages for the collective. What does the collective need to know on today, on April the 8th? And as always, sorry y'all, jeez, already. As always, the Hierophant. And let's keep that beautiful energy on the table. Please and thank you. All right, we'll do it 2 more times since that card popped out and fell on the floor. First card out is the Devil. So this came out in the journal entry that I did for last week now. About looking at our addictions, the things that we are bound to, what ties us to our lower nature. The root chakra is all about survival and our basic needs. This could be mental health issues, and with this, that's in the full moon though, the lunatic or lunar. So this is about addictions, depression, it could be mental health issues. Ego is popping up here, so we talked about that. Ego, cheating with that whole, what was the card? The 5 of Swords. Materialism was part of the King of Pentacles. So yeah, essentially, things that we are bound to, our basic needs, some of the things that we struggle with. All right, so we're fighting against these addictions, this depression, with Temperance, Sagittarius energy. So bringing things into balance, into moderation, or maybe some of the things that we find ourselves addicted to, like we're bringing those things into moderation. And I'm getting like, even for an example, like with drinking, if you've been obsessively drinking, because the Devil card is also about obsession as well, doing something, not necessarily just over and over, but like obsessively, like it's an impulse, like you can't stop, it's uncontrollable. So now we're gaining some type of self-control here with the Temperance card. Things are balancing themselves out. Things are becoming more tranquil. So with the Devil energy, things are kind of chaotic. We have Temperance here coming in. So things are becoming more blended. So this could be the focus for some of you all with with Sagittarius here. Next we have the Two of Cups. Partnerships, unity, love, compatibility. So there could have been some type of toxic partnership where temperance is needed. Because the Two of Cups is a relationship where two people mirror each other, which is very interesting too, because even in the Devil card, you have the image of the man and the woman being tied together. And then down here below this, with the Two of Cups, you have the same figure of male and female, you know, exchanging the cups. So this is something, I'm getting something that was once very toxic between two people is now becoming balanced, and it's turning more into a loving situation. So maybe there was a lot of obsessive behaviors and jealousies and stuff with the Devil card here. And then we have Temperance that comes in and brings balance, which the Temperance card is also soulmates. So this could be like some of y'all soulmates coming in, or maybe even balancing the energies within yourself, the divine masculine and divine feminine energies within yourself. If you are a single person, or if this is literally a couple, this could be two people who were once in a toxic situation and now some type of blending and tranquility is taking place, and there's a new perspective and inner calm to a situation, and it's causing the love to come forth now. So the dynamic between two energies, between a masculine and feminine energy, are coming into balance. So you could also be dealing with a Cancer. So the Eight of Cups, Pisces energy. So someone in this dynamic is detached or detaching. Though it is a loving connection, partnership, emotionally, someone could just be letting go. This is also could like be abandoning plans, and not necessarily like abandoning a person to leave them forever. It could be just like, oh, well, I had plans to do this, and now, you know, I'm having to abandon them and let go. Someone within this connection could also be wanting to see what else is out there. Like someone wants to go explore. I get like some other option, even though the Seven of Cups is not here on the table, but like this can be like walking away, going on a journey, escapism. So it's like that person, and even though it's like when we think introspection, because it is a card of introspection, it's like we sometimes think like, oh, I'm gonna go sit in the corner and meditate and get an introspection. But I'm also kind of feeling like this person wanting to go out and explore other options is kind of like their introspection. It's like they need to go through that and have that experience in order to realize like, this is where the love is at for me, or this is what I need for me, right? So it may suck for the other person, but this is what someone could be feeling like they need to move on or they want to move on. The Hermit and the Ten of Wands. So this is Chiron. I don't really know much about Chiron. I was trying to see if there was anything that stood out to me about Chiron. I can't really think. I think I heard someone say Chiron is like the place of where you show forth like your heroic skills or something of that nature. But anywho, so the Eight of Cups, this walking away. So it like this introspection, like it could be something spiritual. You know, I feel like for some people, It literally could be like someone wanting to go explore other options, whether that is with someone else or whether it's like exploring other options as in like maybe they're trying to dig and cultivate their spiritual life. And the reason why I say that is because next, the Hermit card, which is all about soul searching. So they're asking themselves a lot of tough questions. So this solar eclipse could like be bringing that forth in a person. A lot of soul searching, inner guidance about what their purpose is, right? Why they feel overburdened, why they have so many responsibilities, and they seem to have a lot of problems with the 10 of Wands. But what you may not understand is that the 10 of Wands is like, this is the hardest that anything can be. This is also, for me, I used to read this and it's coming back up now, it's like a card of like bearing or carrying one's own cross. So part of this spiritual part of this spiritual journey, I feel like in this walking away of soul searching is like you becoming enlightening about the fact that there are certain burdens of yours that you've been given the strength to carry. So 2 cards of Sagittarius here. So it may, of course it's gonna feel tough and it doesn't feel pleasant, but it's like this person has the strength to do it. Next we have the 6 of Wands, which did sort of kind of flip over sideways and took it. This is all about recognition. So it's like, you're gonna get success and victory and win, even though something seems temporarily burdensome right now, like, but it's at the worst. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, once you get past this, it's like you get the recognition, success, you have an advantage, you're getting praise because like people see the battles and they've seen the way that you had to carry. So this is like carrying a lot of weight, or even like feel like you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulder. And it's like, people see you, like they see the work that you're putting in. And it's like when people see the work that you put in, that kind of makes you praiseworthy, especially when they know that you don't do it for the accolades, but you're doing it for the sake of the work that needs to be done. And people see that and they admire that. It's like you're like a celebrity. And some of you could be rising to celebrity, status, whether it's on a local level or whether it's on like a global level. There's all different types of levels to being famous. You could just be very well known in your town for, the food that you make, or you could be very well known for how you sing or being a great musician in your own sector. And people may not even know you on the global level, right? Next we have the 4 of Cups. This is that melancholy feeling. So I think the last time there was a read that I did, I can't remember if it was on TikTok or if it was just like one of those journal entry things. But anyways, it's like you have this success. I don't even think you really want it, honestly, to whoever I'm talking to. It's like you just feel kind of meh about it all. The 4 of Cups is refusing offers. So the fact that you're getting all this recognition, like it opens up a whole nother level of opportunities for you and a whole lot of other doors for you. And it's like you may not even want any of those doors to be open, so you just might refuse offers. If it's something on your social platform, it's like your popularity is growing and people might start reaching out to you, even though the 8 of Wands is not out here about communication and stuff, but in emails and stuff, but like people could be like seeing you out in public and wanting to approach you and wanting to offer you things, and it's just like you're refusing offers right now. Or you could even be like bored with success, like it don't even really interest you because you're not caught up in all that. Cancerian energy, I feel like there was another card of Cancer on the table, so I feel like we got Sagittarius, and I feel like we got 2 cards of Cancer. So you could have Cancer in your chart, you could be a Cancer moon. Pisces. No, here goes another Cancer energy. This is Queen of Cups in reverse. So this is someone who's very fickle, very vain and gullible. So if you're very popular right now and you're coming off as like very, what's not mediocre, melancholy, people might perceive you as being like fickle. Or you could just also, in your refusing of plans, like, you could be coming across like that to people, like very vain-ish, because it's like, maybe some people think like you too good because you sit up on this white horse with the 6 of Wands, and like you could have the image of like you're very vain or stuck up, but you're free and unencumbered. You have a very childlike energy about you. It's like you're all about ready to take this leap of faith. It's like you're pressing forward, charging through, because this Fool card is facing. So the way the Fool is like in the picture, he's kind of like looking up, but from the position here, he's looking up at this 6 of Wands. So it's like, maybe as much as you don't want the attention, it's like you look forward to reaching this place of success and victory in your life. The Fool is about freedom. It's about originality, adventure. So maybe, for some of you, okay, so maybe that's what it is. So maybe it's the popularity that you don't really care about. You're just more in for the adventure, right? You're in for the journey that it has you on. So whatever this is that you do that brings you success, for you, you have a very innocent approach mindset when it comes to it. So it's like your intent for doing tarot or for doing baking or for working here and doing this is like, for the adventure of what it brings to you. But because you're doing it and you do it well, and you're a hard worker with the 10 of Wands, you end up getting this recognition from the public. And though you don't want it, you still look to the success because it mirrors back to you like, I'm in it for the adventure. But to some people, they may question you because it's like, well, why aren't you high-minded? Or, it's like you got this going on for you, like, oh, he's, oh, he's so vain, oh, he's so fickle, and da-da-da-da-da. And I asked him, did he want to do this? And he said no, or, you know what I'm saying? Or, or whatever. Folks be in their feelings about stuff that don't even really be that deep. What's next? Yeah, because I was thinking about the 7 of Cups earlier when I was talking about over here somewhere about having all these options, about breaking away with this 2 of Cups to go on this journey, to explore your options. I think I did say explore your options. So options is here with the 7 of Cups. Sometimes this is also too my card of like being drunk on your own importance. Like you can be so delusional that you're caught up into yourself, self-delusion. This can also be procrastinating or having a lot of options and choices. So even with the Fool card, it's like with this innocence that you have and this originality and this freedom that you have to create and get this success and recognition, it's like it also creates a lot of options and choices for you and multiple possibilities. So like you have a plethora of things that are available to you and that you're accessible to. Your dreams are accessible now. You have options to pick and choose. Also, too, this could be like your dream state, like you could be having a lot of dreams. A lot of thinking. Some of you could be going to the movies or watching a movie. This is like a card of cinema. This is like a cinema card for me. A lot of imagination here. Some of which can be, and I'm gonna say this real quick. Let me park right there for a second. So some of this could even be like false imaginations, as in like you can have so many options, but like just because you have options doesn't mean that they're all good options. So that's the point of like you're picking and choosing, that you have to pick and choose wisely. So probably something that you're gonna gain when you detach and you go on the spiritual journey and you soul search, something that you gain, the wisdom that you gain and access at that point is gonna help you with making the right decision and the right choices here. You're gonna pick the right thing. And some of you may choose work over something because the Eight of Pentacles is here. This is self-employment. Some of you all, the success that you're building could be that you're going into something where you're self-employed, something where you can throw all of your details into, so you're very, because that's what sets you apart, is like when you detail work and your work speak for itself. So it's like, I don't even think that you even have to advertise a whole lot. It's like you build that reputation. So it's like this person, every pentacle this person is building is hammered, is detailed to perfection the way that they want it. And so it's like the reputation to be a goldsmith is like you gain that reputation by the work that you do. So that's how people know you. This is expertise, this is mastering something. This is also climbing the corporate ladder. So there's levels to this. But some of you, whatever the work you do, like you might need to take some time and go into some type of training to get more knowledge. Adding knowledge and building knowledge to what you already know in order for you to level up. Because this is an 8 card and this is the year of 8. All right, 2024, 2 plus 2 plus 4 is 8. New job, self-employment. So some of you are building a business or a trade. Something of reputation. I never noticed it on here. It does say reputation. So some of you could be very well building a reputation. Spot on. Justice, doing legal contracts, karmic systems, law, truth, honesty. So doing business right. Maybe you're working on, what would it be called in business? So maybe if you're like working on your business plan, like you could be working on your code of ethics is what I'm thinking. So they could deal with like legal contracts and things of that nature to set in order for the business. So it's like, but if it's whatever the practices you do when you're working and building from the ground up, because we have the 9 of Pentacles here too. So with this 8 of Pentacles, it's like the work that you're putting in behind the scenes now and doing it honestly with integrity, with the Justice card here, because this is all about integrity, doing things right. This is what causes you to have that independent wealth, the 9 of Pentacles, and being able to enjoy the fruits of your labors because you did something with integrity. And so you're being rewarded with resourcefulness. King of Wands, being a great leader. You're decisive, you're loyal, you're independent. Outstanding leadership. So, which is still a level of maturity because, I mean, there are some, kings that are immature, but this is in the upright, so this is a very mature energy here. This is someone who knows what they're doing. And not only do they know what they're doing, but they're able to help other people, which makes them a great leader. They're teachable, they're coachable. Yeah, the Hierophant here. I mean, not the Hierophant, the Empress. It's all about stability, structure, protection, authority, control. This is practicality. This is big boss stuff right here. So somebody's doing something big. It's something that somebody's doing that's real big. And the reason why I say that is because you got this Eight of Pentacles here. You got this Justice card here, doing something with integrity. You got hard work and ethics. You got building something from the ground up, pre-Empress energy with the Nine of Pentacles. This is abundance, self-sufficient. You have all the necessary resources and tools that you need to get something accomplished. You're a great leader. You're able to be in charge. And then we have the Emperor here. You're very stable. You have a lot of structure. You're very logical, practical. You could be an older person or you could be a young person that just, has an old soul. And maybe too, that's what this Hermit is about. Maybe you need that. So this could be a young person that could be forsaking addictions and stuff in order to become more wiser. And as you become more wiser and you put in the hard work, you're gonna get this success and recognition, even though that's not what you asked for with the Four Cups. And people may think that you're vain and you're fickle, but you're still looking forward to the adventure of it all, presenting you with all these options and stuff to work on your dreams. So you have the ability to work on the things that you dreamed about, whether it's like literally in your sleeping state or just things that you daydreamed about, like the life that you want to live, the life that you want to cultivate, and you're cultivating that with this Eight of Pentacles here because you are a person of integrity and you're a great leader. So you're going to have long-lasting structure and stability with the Emperor here, male or female. I've been here for 40-something minutes. It don't feel like it. Page of Pentacles. So there's good news, solid beginnings. You're setting goals and opportunities. So you could be setting, setting goals on how to achieve being this emperor or being a successful emperor. So I'm getting also too, like, what you're doing now could be setting you up for the future. Or maybe you're sitting here. So this could go two ways. This could be someone literally as an emperor in their older age, thinking about when they were a Page of Pentacles and the goals that they set, or you could be setting those goals now on how to achieve emperor status. Because every time I see the Page of Pentacles holding this pentacle up, it kind of reminds me of like the Ace of Pentacles, how you have that divine hand that's reaching out and it's offering this one pentacle. And you, therefore, you take this pentacle as a page and you're offering it up to be blessed. What's the Emperor and the Page of Pentacles? Ace of Cups. New beginnings again. This could be love and romance, but I really don't feel like that's necessarily what it is. I feel like with it being an outpouring, it's like when you give something as an offering, you're getting this overpouring cup of like blessings in return for what you offer up. And because it's an outpouring, it's like You could be pouring all of yourself into something, but it's a regenerative cycle. So it's like the more you give, the more that is poured out onto you. So somebody's a giver. Page of Wands, this is a person who, good news, courage. This is those actors, politicians, preachers, inspirational speakers. So this could be somebody in the entertainment industry. Or people who public speak, who are before the camera. So this is another card of like publicity. This is someone who gets a lot of publicity. Seven of Wands. Standing up for your beliefs. So this is like a person who's practicing what they preach. Whether you're a preacher or not, it's like whatever your beliefs are, you're standing 10 toes down on them. Oftentimes when I look at this too, I usually see how in the seven, light might be too bright, but in the Seven of Wands, there's always a person that's holding a wand, fending off these other six, but you usually don't see physical people with those 6 wands. And because it comes after the Six of Wands card, it kind of reminds me too of that, how when you reach public success, you have to be careful because there's a blessing and a curse too. It's like the same people that praise you today will be the same people that try to come against you tomorrow. So it's important to realize that the same people that celebrated you in the beginning of all this may not be celebrating you now in this place when you get to this emperor stage. When you was over here with all these burdens and hard work and stuff, and people was like, oh my God, like cheering you on, it was like great. But then when you went on and you progressed on past them, some people can't handle that. So it's like now, it's like important for you to remember that no matter what happens, stand on what you believe and stand on your ground, whatever that is. Because the Page of Wands is not a negative person. This talks about good news. This is someone who's positive and uplifting. So stand on your ground when it comes to speaking positivity, and don't let people come in with all that negative stuff. Leo energy. What is this page? Page of Wands is Sagittarius energy. So we got, I think, like 3 cards of Sagittarius. Six of Swords, Page of Swords. It's kind of like standing your ground, standing up for what you believe in. It's actually healing to you. Because I'm getting like, you're not doing the people-pleasing thing. Like with the Page of Wands, like, you gonna speak and say what needs to be said. You gonna stand your ground with the Seven of Wands. And you gonna keep it moving with the with the Six of Swords here. But also you standing up for what you believe in is healing. It's showing healing and progress. There's a lot of tranquility there when you stand up for yourself. It's like it may ruffle some feathers in the beginning, but ultimately it makes things calmer. And with the Page of Swords looking over, this is very guardian energy. So it's like, even though things are calm, I think there's a need to be, this is vigilant, one of the words. I don't know why I'm hearing the word vigilant, but like, it's kind of like, it's like when you move into calmer waters, it's like, yes, things are calm and acknowledge that they're calm, but also don't be deceived by the calmness, because at some point, like, things are always lurking around the corner. So it's like, Yeah, diligence is on here. It is on here. So this is like being on guard. So like, what are we being on guard about? And this is a card of Gemini and the Sun. So be on guard maybe about ego getting in the way. Yeah, that's too many cards. Because sometimes our ego can be in the way. That's what we were talking about earlier. Or this move, so if you're moving or transitioning is what I'm also getting to with the Six of Swords in this page. Because if you're transitioning, like, don't just move abruptly. It needs to be planned and calculated. Like, there's nothing wrong with planning and calculating. Like, get something down to a science as much as possible. Some of y'all could be scientists or very much so into math, or there could be a subject matter that you need to delve into a little bit. Doggone. All right, decisions that need to be made at a crossroads with the Two of Swords here. Libra energy could be a Libra moon. So you could be set in a place of indecision. So if this has to do with a move that you need to make, and it's calling, or I'm feeling like you need to be calculated about how you move, you could be just sitting still right now, not really knowing what move to take. So it's like you're just choosing to not do anything. You're just sitting still because you're torn between two of something. Another card of two. Two of Wands. But whereas the thing with the Two of Swords is, it's like the Two of Swords could be like in the mind, the mental conflict, which is causing the stalemate and no movement, stagnation. But then we have the Two of Wands, which wands are taking action. This is also Mars energy. So this is about taking action. And this is Aries. One of these moons, we just had something too recently that was in Libra. It might have been the full moon, might have been in Libra. And then now we're in Aries. I wonder is Mars there? I'm not sure. I didn't look that up. But anyways, but like this is you taking action. And the card of action with the twos is facing the indecision and indecisiveness with the two. So it's like you're taking action against whatever was causing you to kind of be in that stagnant energy of not knowing what to do or not making any movements at all. Right, so you're planning. You're moving forward with some plans because you realize that the world is your oyster. Like, yeah, you got choices, you got things to make. And it could be in regards to some type of collaborative work that some of y'all are trying to get into. Someone could be wanting to collab with you and you could not know what to do concerning that. Or you could have just decided like, I don't want to make a decision on it right now at some point. And now you're choosing to take action towards that. And then we got the High Priestess over here. So this is about intuition, inner knowing. It's like you know which way to go. So in between the indecision and the actual taking of action, there is the knowing. Or you're not going to take action until you know for sure, until you have the insight. This is also a moon energy card too, so maybe during this time, like, it's going to be illuminated to y'all. So that's another thing. So it's like, for this brief moment of this eclipse, it's like we lose a little bit of clarity. But if we just hold on and wait, in a few moments, clarity is being restored and we move out of this phase of like obscurity. So it's like, you know, with the High Priestess who to work with the Three of Pentacles. You know how to build a team. Because it says over here that, you know, whoever this King of Wands is, it's like, if you're a great leader, you know how to bring intuition into this. And that could be what this also, what this eclipse is too for some of y'all, because it's like that moon is taking the forefront, that intuition, that visionary energy is taking the forefront for a brief moment. So it's like you as this leader, King of Wands, like, you know how to take action, but you also know how to be intuitive and have an inner knowing, and you know, you understand that. You know how to put a team together. You know how to build a team of people. I like the way that slid out. Yeah, Ace of Swords. Clarity. So I just said that about clarity. So we got the moon here with the High Priestess. And then we turn around and we got clarity, the Ace of Swords. There's a breakthrough. Something is realized. Boom, there go the moon card. Two energies of intuition. Moon card is also illusions and dreams and stuff too, things that are vague. So that's that whole obscurity. Cutting through the illusions and having the mental clarity, the awareness, the focus. So that could be the challenge too right now for some of us, is to you know, we've been given this sword, because it's an ace. This is a gift to us. So we need to take it and we need to use it to cut through illusions, things, deceptions. Piscean energy. Let's get a couple more. And then we get out of here. Cause it's been a little over an hour. Cause I'm gonna take a nap and I'm gonna try to go to the grocery store and get back in time for the eclipse. All right, Ace of Pentacles, the Tower. Finances. I feel like every ace is on this table. Am I right? Ace of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Cups. There was no Ace of Wands. So 3 aces out here. So lots of new beginnings, regenerative energy, something starting over. So financial opportunities emerging for some of y'all. You're manifesting. So if the High Priestess is mystery, intuition, and the Ace of Pentacles is manifestation, so it's like some of y'all have had this inner knowing, and now what you knew is starting to materialize. So things that you felt intuitively, your inner knowing, you're starting to see those things become materialized because the High Priestess is a very spiritual card. So that deals with things that we can't see. Whereas this Ace of Pentacles is things that we can see. Things being materialized, things manifesting. My God, I hope we're not manifesting chaos and destruction with the Tower here, but this is just a sudden realization as well too. Areas of our life where we need to take the mask off. So it's like these new opportunities could, in some sense, create a tower, not only for us, but for, people around us. Because these towers, like when things happen that shake these towers down, it shows us what was important, what was needed, what was necessary. The Tower card came out in the journal entry for last week, and I talked about that it's about things being exposed. And once the Tower is hit and things begin to shake, it's like whatever was left is what was necessary. It's the things that were needed. And then you have to make a decision on, like, is there enough there to rebuild? Is it worth rebuilding? Or do we just tear it down and let it become something dilapidated and we move on to something else? Like, once these things are exposed and they're brought to our awareness for a reason, what do we do with them from there? So it could be a lot of shocking moments that some people experience during this eclipse. This is also a card associated with the crown chakra, so it could be like a lot of downloads. It doesn't necessarily have to be events, but it could play out in events that trigger, but it's all about this awareness up here. So some of y'all could be having some sudden unexpected changes in the downloads that you receive. The Tower can be confusion, so some of you could also be even confused about how you even got this Ace of Pentacles. It's like, how did I even, it makes no sense, right? But if it's being presented to you, it's for you. So it's up to you to decide what you do with it and how you do with this. With that being said, this is Ocean. Be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Happy new moon in Aries, and have fun and enjoy this eclipse, y'all. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. And until then, bye-bye.